advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
To be a giant. This has forever been our passion, this desire to be a giant. Not to stand on one's shoulders or to have one for a friend, though these may be fortunate things, but to be one. Giants step over barriers that seem never-ending. They conquer mountains that appear insurmountable. Giants rise above fear, triumph over pain, push themselves, and inspire others to be a giant, to do giant things, to take giant steps, to move the world forward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Philippines Uncut. I am your host, Buddy Kunana. Now, in this show, we talk about everything under the sun. But tonight, we're once again talking about one of my favorite topics, which is sports. Because we here on Philippines Uncut believe that sports are integral to the empowerment of our youth and to nation building. Now, folks, for the past 2 years, we've been really following up sports and doing multiple programs on sports in an effort to peel the layers of the onion to find out what is the problem really in Philippine sports. Once upon a time, the Philippines was a regional powerhouse in sports. Today, we are laggards behind the pack in Asia, in the SEA Games, the Asian Games, and even the Olympic Games. They're just a faraway dream for many of us. So tonight, we're going to talk about a new controversy in sports, this time apparently involving the University Athletic Association of the Philippines, or UAAP for short. And joining us to talk about sports, swimming, and the UAAP controversy is no other than my good colleague and friend, Coach Susan Papa. Good evening, Coach.
Hi, good evening, buddy, and I'm glad to be here again, and it's my pleasure always.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I'm glad to have you here, po, because you're such an authority in sports and you've dedicated your life to sports, and kahanga-hanga ho talaga yung ginagawa nyo sa larangan ng sports. Let's talk about kayo po. For the people who are first getting to meet Susan Papa, Coach Susan Papa tonight, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a swimmer. I'm a former swimmer. I started swimming at the age of 5, and I was in the national team at the age of 11.
Wow.
And my family are into sports. In fact, I have a brother also that is an Olympian in basketball, Adriano Jun Papa, and I have another brother who is also in the national team. So there was a time that the three of us were together in the national team.
Wow, you were really a family of sports personalities and athletes talaga.
Yes, yes. In fact, yun ang sinabi ng parents ko, yun ang kayamanan nila. We all graduated from school without our parents spending any single cent.
Via sports scholarship?
Via sports, yes.
Excellent. Now, you said you joined the national team at 11. How long were you part of the national team?
From 11, I lasted around up to 21 years old.
Wow. And in that time, 10 years, where did you see action as an athlete, as a national athlete?
Well, I went to compete in the United States when I was training. And also, I went to 3 Asian Games. That was 1966, 70, and 74. And each time, during those times, during my time, we reign in Asia. We are second to Japan.
Wow. Now, I'm going to get back to that very soon, quickly. Now, I was going to point out that between 3 siblings, you and your 2 other siblings, who are all athletes and all, national players, you must have a lot of trophies and medals in your family home.
Yes, yes, that's true, that's true. Countless of medals, around 600 plus, and we have around 17, 20 trophies, I think.
Wow, wow. Amazing, amazing. Now, it's interesting you said during your time when you were part of the national squad that the Philippines was second only to Japan. And yung sinabi ko nga earlier during my opening spiel, I said that the Philippines was once a powerhouse, a sports powerhouse.
Yes.
What happened, Coach? What happened to us?
Well, as far as I know, since after I quit, I just found out that that PASA was incorporated, as far as swimming is concerned.
PASA, the Philippine Amateur Swimming Association.
Was incorporated 1986. Since then, we did not win any medal in Asian Games, except in 1998, which was won by Ryan Papa, who trained in the States.
Now, Ryan Papa, related to you?
That's my nephew on cousin side.
Okay, because, you know, here in the Philippines, pag sinabing Papa, parang synonymous talaga with swimming.
Talagang
There's Ryan Papa, there's, of course, kayo po, and then, you know, Papa is a
everyone is a
household
swimmer.
name.
Even June Papa was a swimmer before.
Why this affinity with swimming? Bakit napaka-tied yung family nyo sa swimming?
Well, my parents, in sports talaga, because my parents are, they are into basketball, my father, and track and field, and my mother is a softball player.
So talagang nasa dugo.
Talagang nasa dugo.
It's in the genes.
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Now, Coach, let's talk about, alam nyo, this is not the first time you've guested in the show, and tuwing meron tayong usapan, lagi natin define as quickly and as simply as possible yung struktura, the structure of sports here in the Philippines, so that in effect, people who are just joining the show now and watching us for the first time can understand what is the problem. Because yung problema sa sports is kind of convoluted kasi it's complicated yung relationship ng iba't ibang body. So let's start now by defining quickly for the people who are just watching our show, ano ba yung structure ng sports? Ano ba yung, umpisa tayo sa taas, ano ba yung Philippine Sports Commission?
Dapat ang on top is the Philippine Sports Commission.
Okay.
Yun ang nagpapand ng mga athletes.
Ahensya po ito ng gobyerno, government agency.
Ahensya ng gobyerno.
Okay.
Siya. And they are created para maging healthy yung ano natin, yung bansa natin.
Yes.
Pero ang nangyayari nga ngayon, hindi siya healthy yung sports not healthy.
So the Philippine Sports Commission gets money from the government from different sources. I understand yung isa doon galing from PCSO funds or PAGCOR or PAGCOR funds.
Yes,
and
that's
then,
right.
And then its job is to promote sports development.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
That's the PSC, government agency.
Ano hindi lang dapat ang pinupondohan yung Olympics or Asian Games or SEA Games.
Pasukan naman natin. Ano yung Philippine Olympic Committee naman? What's
the Philippine Olympic Committee is also a private organization.
Okay.
It just happened that the Philippine Olympic Committee is the member ng International Olympic Committee, which is the one
overseeing certain games.
Only as far as Olympic is concerned, at saka yung
Asian Games
and SEA Games.
Okay.
Pero nangyayari, gusto nilang kontrolin lahat eh.
Which we'll get into in a while, the power and control in sports. So, to summarize, POC is a non-government organization which is affiliated with the International Olympic Committee at the only area where the POC is active or has some sort of supervision are in the IOC sanctioned events like Olympics, Asian Games,
because in other words, sila yung miyembro ng this was very clear to everyone. Kasi sila yung miyembro dun sa International Olympic Committee. So therefore, sila yung magpapadala.
Yes.
It's not actually the Philippines ang nagpapadala, but the Philippine Olympic Committee
with funding from the Philippine Sports Commission.
Exactly.
Our money, taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Okay. So, but we have to stress that yung mga events nila are really limited to the Olympics, Asian Games, and SEA Games.
That's right. But for now, that's not they want to do. They want to manipulate on everything.
Yes. We'll get to that. Now, lastly, ano naman yung National Sports Associations? Because you mentioned PASA, which is run by our good friend Mark Joseph.
Kasi ang nangyari nga by membership whoever is the member doon sa Philippine Olympic Committee now becomes the National Sports Association.
And there's only one per sport that they recognize.
Exactly.
That POC recognizes.
Yes.
And so these people, like PASA in swimming, Philippine Amateur Swimming Association, ito yung National Sports Association recognized by the POC.
Yes.
Okay. Pero paano naman yung ibang sports associations like the Philippine Swimming League?
The Philippine Swimming League, siya ngayon yung miyembro ng PESAP na tinatawag for the school and for the university.
So this is another national sports association?
Yes, as far as colleges are concerned.
Okay. Now,
and
go.
It is the member, yung PESAP kasi, siya yung member ng PISU, ng Federasyon International Sports University, who is responsible dun sa universidad.
Okay.
Siya dapat ang PESAP ang nagpapadala. The Philippine Olympic has nothing to do with it.
Okay, so what we're talking about are two different events altogether. You have the Olympics on one side.
And the Olympics for the university.
Yes. So the Olympics on one side and the university games.
Yes, the university
games. Okay, so POC is responsible for the Olympics and has nothing to do with the university games called the Universiad.
Exactly.
Okay. Now let's talk about your involvement. Were you once a member of PASA? Ever
Yes,
a member?
I was. Everybody was a member of PASA kasi
Okay.
dati nga gusto iisa lang. Siya lang talaga.
Okay.
But then it has become napakahirap because it has become to be a membership issue. Pag hindi ka member ng PASA, which you have to pay 400 pesos, and the coaches has to pay 8,000 pesos.
Wow.
And plus, meron pang plus yun Tapos, every team has to pay around 12,000 pesos. Then
Parang
it
puro pay
becomes
yan,
very
Painful.
expensive.
Parang painful. Puro pay.
Painful. Kaya nga, I want to say this, di ba, sabi nga nila, pasa. Kaya ang sinasabi ng swimming community, pasanin. Naging pasanin because you have to pay all the time
Yes.
So, even you become a national team as far as yung SEA age group is concerned, you have to pay $40,000 to $1,000
Okay.
to have an exposure as far as swimming meet is concerned.
So mukhang puro bayad to. Bayad to
Yeah,
get in,
and-
bayad to stay in, coaches, swimmers, everyone has to pay.
Everyone has to
A
pay.
membership fee.
Plus
Where does the money go? That's a good question.
That's the good question. Where does the money go?
Okay. So you were once a member of PASA, Coach
Yes,
Susan.
yes, yes.
Why did you form the Philippine Swimming League?
Again, because it's dying. I see it dying. They have competition all the time, but it's going nowhere. Wala siyang napupuntahan. Yung grassroots level, wala. Ang pinakamadaling gawin niya ng PASA president noon, which is Mark Joseph, is kukuha na lang siya dun sa abroad.
Okay.
Ng mga PhilAm or whatever.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong. The job of the National Sports Association na pinupondohan po ng Philippine Sports Commission na taxpayers' money, yung job talaga nila is to develop grassroots sports, grassroots athletes.
They are supposed to recruit,
Okay?
train,
Train.
and develop.
Okay.
Yun ang dapat nilang
Recruit,
ginagawa.
train, develop. Okay.
Which now, the Philippine Swimming League is doing that. We are recruiting. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to pay membership. Wala kang babayaran. Para bang kontra-kontra talaga na pelo na, because we want the less fortunate people to, katulad ng mga nasa Muslim, sila yung, they can swim even before they can walk.
So kayo sa Philippine Swimming League, meron kayong mga training programs, meron kayong
Yes,
recruitment
yes.
programs
Yes,
nationwide.
We go nationwide. We promote swimming. Kahit wala silang pera, we train them, we recruit them, we develop them. Like yung mga sa Abedra who are from Zamboanga,
Yes.
we recruited them dito sa Maynila, and now they're going to school sa DPS without paying anything.
Quickly, Coach Susan, tell us about your different activities in PSL, Philippine Swimming League.
The Philippine Swimming League right now has 12 monthly competition. Minsan,
Wow. Okay.
sumusobra pa nga because
Okay.
we have to go to the provinces na
Nationwide po to, 12 monthly.
nationwide. But, so, right now, in the span of 2 years, we are on the 48. So, you can imagine yung
Wow.
span of 2 years.
Halos every
48.
month meron talaga kayo.
Every
Or
month
more.
talaga meron more.
Yes, yes.
And besides that, yung mga competition niyan ng mga bata na yan, na ginagampanan namin every month, we travel abroad. We expose them. So that when it comes to a big competition, hindi na sila kinakabahan, like SEA Games. Because it is not true actually that once you are not a member, you cannot join because you are a Filipino citizen.
Yes.
And swimming is only by by time.
Opo. Sino po yung nagpopondo ng inyong, you said you have 12 monthly, at least a year, and then may mga overseas trips pa kayo, you bring your delegations overseas to compete in mga international swim meets for kids, for amateurs, for teens, young adults. Who pays for this?
Actually, wala nga ang gobyernong nagpopondo sa amin.
Saan nanggaling pera ho?
Yung pera na pag nagpapakumpit ka, if they pay 200 pesos, 250 pesos, that's where we get our medals, the trophies.
So no
And-
government money at all.
No,
Not
no.
1 peso goes into
No.
Philippine Swimming League, and yet nakakapag-hold kayo ng lahat ng mga competitions
Yes,
na nakakapag-abroad
exactly.
pa kayo
At
to the
nakakapag-abroad.
kindness of friends,
Yes.
donations, ganyan.
Yung
Wow.
huling namin, nag-champion kami sa, we have been participating in the SICC.
Okay.
That SICC, nandun yung pinakamabilis right now ng
Okay.
Singapore, who is Joseph Schooling.
Okay.
That's why I would like to go there all the time.
Okay.
Kasi na-break na yun ng mga Pilipino na bata eh.
I understand a group of Philippine Swimming League swimmers came from Singapore recently, and
Yes.
they won the top prize,
Yes.
the most number of medals. Tell us about that, Coach.
That is very hard because we are the visiting country eh. Siyempre, talong-talo ka na kaagad ng
Kailan po nangyari to?
Just last August.
Okay.
So, what happened was, we came in with 51 swimmers. We broke the record, existing record. Most of the swimmers were able to do that. And we invited the consul
Okay.
from Singapore. Left and right, natutuwa siya because she has been attending it 2 times already for
Yes.
the second year.
Yes.
So sabi niya, nung una, wala ako masyadong nakikitang tinatawag na Pilipino na nananalo. But the last time, it's just, sabi niya, talagang every time she see a yellow uniform, that's our uniform. Sabi niya, tuwan-tuwa siya talaga na
And-
we have been winning.
And during that competition last August, the Philippines, your delegation, won the most number of medals. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that correct?
We were the champion
What do you mean champion?
because we won 122 medals.
The most number of medals.
Yes, and the most number of points and medals.
So imagine a visiting Filipino delegation, not funded by the government at all, goes to Singapore and wins the most number of medals in that event, beating the home team in Singapore.
Exactly, kasi yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Dahil napakahirap gawin nun. Dahil, siyempre, yung visiting country has madali sa kanila eh.
Okay.
Dahil they will not spend for anything. They will
Okay.
not spend for airfare, they will not spend for food, they will not spend for
Of course, nandun na
for-
sila. Nandun na sila.
for their lodging.
Nandun na sila.
Nandun na
Siyempre.
sila, di ba?
Siyempre.
Pero kami, kailangan humanap pa kami ng pondo para sa mga batang
And I'm sure
pupunta.
pag ganyan, not everyone can go. May maiiwan yan. Because
Siyempre.
yung pera, hindi, a lot of times, hindi talaga magkakasya.
But
Kahit,
what is amazing, even we are not funded by the government.
Yeah.
We were able to send 17 swimmers for free. They did not spend anything. And 8 coaches for free. Yun
Excellent.
ang nagawa namin. And
now, Coach, tanong ko pa sa inyo, yung PASA, ano pong ginagawa? Nakakagawa ba ng inyo? I mean, does PASA do similar activities? Nagpapadala ba sila ng mga swimming delegations sa abroad? Do they have 12, at least 12 in a year, competitions nationwide? Ano bang ginagawa ng PASA?
well, ang sabi
funded
dun
by the
sa-
government, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yun nga ang sinasabi doon sa newspaper. I did not say that the PSL is doing the job of the National Sports Association. And right now, we have the longest grassroots program na nakaabot na kami ng 48. Sabi nga nung isang media, sino pa kaya makakahabol sa iyo ng 48 ka na in span of 2 years. So now we are beginning to get some calls that people are helping us. Do you need jackets? Do you need bathing suits? Do you need whatever that hanggang the last time there was if I can mention,
Please.
yung Berus Persian restaurant was able to help us. Siya talaga yung nag-provide
Imagine.
ng pamasahe para doon sa mga bata, pamasahe for the coach
Going to Singapore.
to Singapore.
Yes.
And the PSL, out of the money that we have, pag may sobra, yun yung ginamit namin para sa accommodation. And also, we are selling t-shirts, we are selling swimming caps, anything, shampoo, at sinasabi
raise
namin
funds.
na pakibili lang tong mga products na to because we will gonna use that for our transportation, inland transportation. And true enough, nakakatawa, nakapag-hire kami ng tourist bus in Singapore.
Tama siguro yung kasabihan ho, Coach, na kung nasa tama yung puso nyo at nasa tama yung objective nyo and marangal yung objective nyo, darating talaga yung biyaya.
Yes,
no?
dumating yung biyaya, tapos maraming bumili ng t-shirt, inubos ng isang team, minsan ganon.
Yes.
Tapos, talaga nakakatuwa naman. Kasi yung oras, almost 24 hours, we are putting our time. Kasi may mga problema between do sa mga teams and all of that. We help them. We volunteer ourselves. We're not getting paid. Kasi kung babayaran kami, kukunin pa namin yung entry fee.
Kayo talaga for the love of the sport,
Yes,
for the love of the
yes,
game.
yes.
Imagine, so alam mo, just a very, very shining example that people, very inspiring because nakakita ng tao talaga what private sector, a group can do without touching the people's money. Diba? I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
ang dami siyang kalokohan sa people's money na walang nangyayari. Kayo, wala kayong people's money and yet ang dami niyong accomplishment.
Yeah,
It's very inspiring.
Sinabi ko sa sarili ko, kailangan magsipag lang talaga eh. Kailangan talagang yung oras. Pumupunta pa kami sa probinsya, no? Pumupunta kami sa Davao, pumupunta kami sa Cagayan, pumupunta kami sa Bicol. Nagtitrain kami ng bata. And we also train yung mga batang nasa lansangan, yung street children. And we don't charge them anything.
Let's talk about now the problem, what happened in Kazan, Russia. So involving UAAP. So I understand a few months ago, a delegation from the Philippine Swimming League went to Kazan, Russia. Ano ho nangyari doon? Anong ginawa ng UAAP doon sa inyo?
Yan yung nakakalungkot dyan eh. Kasi nung June 7, no? If I may show it
Yes,
to you,
please,
I
please.
have it. You know, actually, nung June 7, naglabas ang UAAP ng memorandum.
Okay.
Napakapangit naman talaga.
Let's hold it up, yeah. This is a scanned copy of the official memo of UAAP
Oo.
addressed to
From Maria Luisa Isip for members of the UAAP Board Trustees and UAAP athletes and players.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Hindi naman ang membro ng UAAP are the athletes eh,
Okay.
but the teams.
Okay, so bakit sila ho nag-issue ng ganitong klaseng memo?
Kasi nga, ayaw nilang pasamahin. Kung UAAP swimmer ka, ang sinasabi
Yes.
dyan sa memo na yan, you cannot,
It says here nga, very clear, UAAP athletes players are disallowed to participate in any and all tournaments organized by the Federation of School Sports Association of the Philippines or FESAP or its affiliates. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin FESAP kanina.
Oo.
So kumbaga what they're saying is this memo was preventing them from joining the Universiad in Russia, in Kazan.
At ang sinasabi dyan, PESAP and affiliates. So, ako
Kasama
yung
kayo dun.
affiliated ako dun sa,
Philippine Swimming League.
sa swimming. So, sa swimming, ang masakit talaga dyan, June 7 nilabas. Pinatapos muna yung deadline sa Kazan, June 6.
Okay, let's talk about Kazan. Yung nangyari sa Kazan, this was the Universiad,
Yes.
which is the biggest competition, athletic competition involving university and college students
That's right.
in the world. Yes.
Yan yung pangalawang mabigat na competition. I just want to explain kasi, yung sa Olympics, they are sending the best. Whether you are 10, 12 years old, or you are 18, 20, 30 years old, but kung sino yung magaling, yun ang padadala nila. They will send the best athletes.
Okay.
But in Universiad, your age, the eligibility must be 17 and 28. And even you are the best, if you are not studying, you cannot. Even you are,
Enrolled kayo.
kailangan
Nag-aaral
enrolled
kayo.
ka, kailangan
Yes.
nag-aaral ka. Sa Olympics, kahit hindi ka nag-aaral, pwede.
Okay.
So you can just swim, for example, swimmer ka, you can just swim the whole day if you like,
Yes. Okay.
and qualify.
Okay. So in effect, UAAP was stopping your swimmers from participating in this big athletic event involving all involving university and college students
Yes.
in the world.
And the sad part of it nga, sabi ko, pinatapos muna yung deadline. Nakapag-submit na kami ng mga UAAP names. And then, all of a sudden, inilabas to. So, yung mga batang UAAP swimmer na dapat dadalo, because of this memo, nag-urungan lahat. And it's only Claire Adorna and Sean Gatitorena that really have the guts to say, what am I doing? Why will I'm not allowed to compete?
And it's strange because this memo, which is signed no less by the president of UAAP, Season 76, Reverend Father Maximino Di Rendon, CM, it gives I'm reading it now, there's no reason. They're not even stating why. Sinabi lang nila, disallowed, that's it. No?
Talagang
No reason.
nagdikta.
Hindi mo lang naglagay ng rason.
And this is effective immediately.
Yes.
Yun.
Coach, we have to pause for a break. But guys, more of UAAP controversy in swimming when Philippines Uncut returns.
unfortunate things, but to be one. Giants step over barriers that seem never-ending. They conquer mountains that appear insurmountable. Giants rise above fear, triumph over pain, push themselves, and inspire others to be a giant, to do giant things, to take giant steps, to move the world forward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Philippines Uncut. I am your host, Buddy Kunana. Now, in this show, we talk about everything under the sun. But tonight, we're once again talking about one of my favorite topics, which is sports. Because we here on Philippines Uncut believe that sports are integral to the
Advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
To be a giant. This has forever been our passion, this desire to be a giant. Not to stand on one's shoulders, or to have one for a friend, though these may be
empowerment of our youth and to nation building. Now, folks, for the past 2 years, we've been really following up sports and doing multiple programs on sports in an effort to peel the layers of the onion to find out what is the problem really in Philippine sports. Once upon a time, the Philippines was a regional powerhouse in sports. Today, we are laggards behind the pack in Asia, in the SEA Games, the Asian Games, and even the Olympic Games are just a faraway dream for many of us. So tonight, we're going to talk about a new controversy in sports, this time apparently involving the University Athletic Association of the Philippines, or UAAP for short. And joining us to talk about sports, swimming, and the UAAP controversy is no other than my good colleague and friend, Coach Susan Papa. Good evening, Coach.
Hi, good evening, buddy, and I'm glad to be here again, and it's my pleasure always.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to have you here po because you're such an authority in sports and you've dedicated your life to sports and kahanga-hanga ho talaga yung ginagawa nyo sa larangan ng sports. Let's talk about kayo po. For the people who are first getting to meet Susan Papa, Coach Susan Papa tonight, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a swimmer. I'm a former swimmer. I started swimming at the age of 5, and I was in the national team at the age of 11.
Wow.
And my family are into sports. In fact, I have a brother also that is an Olympian in basketball, Adriano Jun Papa, and I have another brother who is also in the national team. So there was a time that the three of us were together in the national team.
Wow, you were really a family of sports personalities and athletes talaga.
Yes. In fact, yun ang sinabi ng parents ko, yun ang kayamanan nila. We all graduated from school without our parents spending any single cent.
Via sports scholarship.
Via sports, yes.
Excellent. Now, you said you joined the national team at 11. How long were you part of the national team?
From 11, I lasted around up to 21 years old.
Wow. And in that time, 10 years, where did you see action as an athlete, as a national athlete?
Well, I went to compete in the United States when I was training. And also, I went to 3 Asian Games. That was 1966, 70, and 74. And each time, during those times, during my time, we reign in Asia. We are second to Japan.
Wow. Now, I'm going to get back to that very soon, quickly. Now, I was going to point out that between 3 siblings, you and your 2 other siblings, who are all athletes and all, national players, you must have a lot of trophies and medals in your family home.
Yes, that's true, that's true. Countless of medals, around 600 plus, and we have around 17, 20 trophies